Hey everyone, I'm your tech mentor. In the tech world, precision is everything, right? It's not just in our code, but in how we talk about it.
Totally. And I'm your language coach. Today, we're going to dive into two super important tenses that can make or break your communication, the simple present and the present progressive. Getting these right is a game changer for daily stand-ups, documentation, you name it.
Okay, let's get right into it. Picture this. Your project manager pings you for an update. Now, if you say, I fix bugs every day, what does that really mean? Well, that's your job, right? It's your routine. But what if you say, I'm fixing a bug right now? Boom. That tells them exactly what's happening at this very moment. See that? That tiny little grammar shift totally changes the message. In tech, that kind of accuracy is just everything. And that is our promise to you. Stick with us for the next few minutes, and we'll give you all the tools you need to use these tenses like a pro. Your status updates, your team chats, even your tech notes. They're all going to get so much clearer and more effective. All right, first up, routine versus right now. Let's break down the core difference. Exactly right. So the simple present, think of this as your go-to for things that are always true, or at least generally true. It's for your habits, for facts, for constants. It's the tense that basically describes what is. And here's where it gets really practical for us in tech. Look at these examples. A compiler translates source code. That's a universal truth of programming, right? She writes Python code. That's what she does. It's her routine. And we use GitHub. That's just how our team operates. See? These are all stable, unchanging facts about our work. Okay, so now let's flip the script. The present progressive. This is all about action. It's for things that are happening right now, for situations that are temporary, for projects that are in progress. This tense describes what is happening. And this is the language of project work, plain and simple. I am learning how APIs work this month. That's a temporary goal, right? He is debugging. That's what he's doing at this very second. The team is testing. That's the current sprint's focus. It's all about what's active and happening right now. Okay, check this out. This is a perfect server-side example to lock this in. The server runs on Linux. That's a fact. It's its operating system. It's permanent. But the server is running a backup now. That's a process. It started and it's going to end. So you've got a permanent state versus a temporary action. That's the core of it right there. All right, so we've got the why. Now let's nail the how. We're talking about building the sentences correctly, the actual forms. The simple present is pretty straightforward, luckily. So for I, you, we, they, you just use the main verb, as is, like work. But for he, she, or it, you gotta remember to add that S at the end, so works. And when you make it negative or ask a question, you just call in our little helper words, do and does. Now for the present progressive, there's a really simple recipe. It's always the verb be, am, is, or are, plus your main verb with ing tacked on the end. So it's always, I am working, she is working, we are working. Easy, right? And this is exactly what our team chats look like, all day, every day. It's super fast, super direct. Are you testing the new feature? No, I'm not. I'm still working on the docs. It's a perfect real-time back and forth about what we're all doing right now. Okay, awesome. Let's level up and add another layer of detail. How do we talk about how often we do something? Well, that's where frequency adverbs come into play. Okay, the placement for these is actually really simple. Just remember two rules. Rule number one, the adverb usually goes before the main verb, like I usually read the docs first. But rule number two, if your verb is be, the adverb comes after it. For example, the server is often slow at night. Oh, and here's a really useful one. You can say something like, we don't always deploy on Fridays. That's a great way to say it's not a hard and fast rule. All right, this next part is so important. Think of this as a debugging session for your English. Let's find and fix some of the most common grammar bugs out there. Okay, bug number one, and it's a big one. The forgotten third person S. Seriously, this is so easy to miss, but it's critical. It's not he write, it's he writes. Honestly, that little S is like a missing semicolon in your code. It might seem small, but it can break everything. And yeah, just remember some verbs get an ES like he fixes, and others change a bit like she tries. And here's the next bug we gotta patch. When you use does to ask a question, does all the heavy lifting. That means the main verb goes back to its original simple form. The S has already been taken care of. So you'd never say, does he uses? It's just does he use? Okay, last one. There's this special group of verbs. We can call them state verbs. They describe states of being, not actions. Think know, need, want, understand. And the main rule here is we almost never, ever use them with ing. So you'd say we need more RAM, not we are needing more RAM. Now, sure, there are some exceptions, like you can say I'm thinking about the problem, where the meaning changes a bit, but that's a deep dive for another day. Okay, let's bring this all home. How can you use this stuff like right now in your next meeting? Let's talk about quick, sharp, professional answers. It's super simple. If someone asks you a question that starts with do, your short answer should use do or don't. So if they ask, do you use GitHub? The perfect answer is yes, I do. It's clean, it's professional, it's done. Same logic for those right now questions. If the question uses a be verb like is or are, your answer uses it too. So, is your laptop charging? No, it isn't. Using these correct short answers just makes you sound confident and totally on top of things. All right, so let's boil it all down. Here are your 3 big takeaways. 1, simple present is for your routines, your facts, your system behaviors. 2, present progressive is for what you're doing right now and your temporary projects. And 3, and this is the big one, getting this right isn't just about grammar. It's about being a better teammate through clear communication. Okay, now it's your turn to put this into practice. We've got a little micro challenge for you. Try to write 5 sentences about your tech routines, 3 about what you're working on right now, and maybe 2 quick Q&A pairs. Seriously, doing this is the absolute best way to make it all stick. And to leave you with one final thought, just ask yourself this. What's a tech skill you practice every day? That's your routine. And what project are you building this week? That's your action right now. Just being able to answer that question means you've totally grasped the core of what we talked about today. Keep up the great work, and we'll catch you on the next one.